10, 9, 8. It's coming from the building? Change course. Set thrusters to full.
Okay, so hello, welcome back to Subnautica. I'm actually really enjoying this game, so we're going to keep playing it. We're going to start off today by using our scanner room to look for some materials so we can craft some new stuff. We also fully explore the mushroom cave we went into last time, and we get some message about a ship coming to rescue us, so that's a good start.
There's no bad without the good, no good without the bad. Sounds like you tasted a bunch of the former, but that only means you're overdue a whole lot of the latter. Might just be we're in. We're scanning for somewhere to park. We'll be in touch when we find it. Sunbeam out.
What you just heard was a message from the sunbeam ship. They're going to come down and try and rescue me. But in the meantime, I'm going to build a base in a different part of the world, different biome, because I want to try and get some blueprints for a bigger submarine. As usual, I pin all of the recipes that I need on the side of my screen so I can gather all the materials I need for it. And then we head off. Although I did go in the wrong direction at first, I found it eventually. The biome we're going to is called the Mushroom Forest, and it's called that because of these mushroom-looking tree things. I don't really know what else to say about it. I always find building in this biome quite awkward because there's so many of these big mushroom trees that it's just awkward to place what you want sometimes. But I managed to find a pretty good area to build. All this base is going to have is a scanner room, a solar panel, and a hatch, just because that's all we need. We don't need anywhere to dock or craft really down here. But after that solar panel is placed, our base has power and we can set it to look for fragments. I realised I've been talking about how good this scanner room is, but I haven't actually really shown it, but hopefully this next few clips will show that quite well. There's like a orange ring around everything it marks, and you can use that to see where it is. Not only does this biome have parts of the submarine we want to craft, but we can also find parts of the moon pool here, which will allow us to dock our sea moth and charge out our own base. For the most part, this went quite well. We managed to find everything we needed for the moon pool, but we couldn't quite find enough to complete the Cyclops. I should also add that to craft the Cyclops you need 3 different blueprints, and 2 of the blueprints can be found here, and the other one I need to go to a much more dangerous area. While I'm here, I also get a lot of titanium from scanning fragments that I've already got, so that's definitely going to help us build stuff later on. After doing that, I decided to head home before I realised I left the scanner room at home on, and it's just marked everything in that area. When we get home, we also have a distress from Lifepod 12.
This is an automated distress signal from Lifepod 12. Coordinates attached. Warning, Lifepod has sunk beyond safe diving distance. Do not attempt retrieval without submersible support.
I mean, I hope they're safe and all, but I've got to plant some more stuff. To make the moon pool, I needed to get some lubricant, so I went to the creepvine to get that. And it's not long before I can craft the moon pool and move in my sea moth. You can also get a place to upgrade your vehicles and get these upgrade modules in here, but we need to find that as well. It's always such a good feeling when you can finally bring your vehicle inside in this little docking animation. It just feels so good. I really wish it would repair itself though, because I can't be asked to do this every time I go out, because I can't pilot this thing, I keep crashing it. I want to make the modification station so I can upgrade my swimming stuff and my knife. So as usual, I mark it and head off to where the scanner room takes me. It takes me into this small cave where there's lots of stuff, don't get me wrong, but I do get a bit disorientated at one point and I'm worried I'm not going to make it back out. But after remaining calm, as I've had quite a lot of oxygen time now, I wasn't too worried and I got out just fine. When I got back to base, I had enough materials to make the computer chip, and now all that was left was 1 diamond. Diamonds can be found a bit deeper down in the world, and one of the places you can find them is the jelly shroom cave we were in yesterday. Now that I've got the depth module upgraded in my sea moth that we got from the Aurora, I can actually take this thing down here without too much worry. But these creatures down here just terrify me, and I don't know why. They're not actually that scary. One of them does get a little too close to comfort at one point, and I have to flee back to my sea moth, but he seems to run away as well, so no, I guess I won that one. What a little bitch, running back into your little mushroom thing. And after all that, I got a medkit, which is definitely going to help me later. There's quite a lot of outcrops down here that you can just pick up, and it's pretty easy to get loot down here, so I didn't need to set my scanner room to look for anything just yet. I also found a PDA that gave me the location of a base that someone had built. It turns out this was the same people that built those bases on the island, and this is where they'd gone after the island. I made sure it was marked on my map before heading there, and when I found it, it looked pretty broken. I don't know what happened here, but this place was crawling with these jellyfish stinger things, or drooping stingers, and they hurt a lot. While I'm inside, I managed to find the blueprint to the water filtration machine and also another PDA, so hopefully we can find out what happened to these people. While exploring a bit more, I swim into one of those stingers and my health goes down a lot. Like, I didn't realise it was this bad. I only realise when I swim into another one and think, shit, I need to get out of here now. I also just started starving, so my health was dropping quite quickly and I didn't have much left. Thankfully, I was able to use that medkit I got earlier. I told you it was useful. And then I realised I don't know how to get out of here really. I was quite lost. I knew there was an entrance near my base, so that's where I decided to head. I've sped it up, but for me this was 1.5 minutes of just pure stress as I slowly died. I was getting closer and closer, but I had no food now and my health was going down very rapidly. When I found the exit, it actually looked like I was going to make another really close call, but I get all the way over to where my food is and die as soon as I start trying to eat it. When I spawned back in, thankfully, as I did die meters outside my base, all of my stuff was right there, so I didn't have to worry about getting it all back. I don't know what I'd do if I was in a situation like this. I would definitely die. With the stuff that we got from the cave, I'm able to craft the modification station, and I also build a separate room to put our water filtration machine in, and I'm going to move all of my food stuff into that one room. I did want to put it downstairs, but it only seemed to work if I put it upstairs, so that's where it's going to go now. When I get back into my base, I've got another message from the sunbeam, and this time they're giving me a time that they're going to pick me up by, so things are going great.
We've sent you the coordinates. It'll take us a couple of days to align our orbit. We should be able to establish direct contact with you during that time. Then we're coming in to get you. Cross your fingers the weather holds, and don't leave us waiting. Sunbeam out.
After gathering a few extra materials, I head upstairs so I can make my water filtration machine. The water that this makes is like really good, and it gives you like 50% water in one bottle. Unfortunately, my audio glitched out again, so the next like minute or two isn't going to have any audio, but hopefully we can get around it. I went back down to the underwater base that we'd found and tried to get in without getting myself stung this time. After coming back all of this way to the place that nearly doomed me before, I managed to find a PDA entry. Wow! Brilliant. That was great. I then find one of these big wormfish things like trying to get me through the wall. This is one thing I actually find quite scary about this game, is I'm so worried that something's going to like glitch through a wall and jump scare me. I don't want that to happen. But thankfully he swims away and I can find another PDA on the table, so definitely wasn't a waste of time coming back. After heading home, I decided to finally upgrade my gear at that upgrade bench I made. These upgrades include a thermoblade, which will kill a fish and cook it when I hit it, and some ultra glide fins that I'm going to be using to swim around a bit quicker under the water. I wanted to make the ultra high capacity tank as well, so I had to head back down into the mushroom biome to get some lithium. Thankfully this didn't take too long and I managed to get more than what I needed to make the tank. Due to the water filtration machine, I was now starting to have a big problem with power in my base, so I placed down another solar panel before going to get my first bottle of water from the water filtration machine, and God, I'm so happy I can do this now. After realising my sound had fucked up, I decided to head into the wreck next door to see if we could explore it a bit deeper. I didn't really find too much inside other than the other half of the battery charger I need, but then I realised I only had 9 minutes to get to the extraction site to leave the island. So after lining myself up, I headed off in that direction for like a couple of minutes. It was night when I arrived, so I couldn't quite see how big the island actually was, but it seemed pretty massive and I could hear a reaper in the distance, which scared me a little bit. After heading onto the island, I found this massive building emitting this green light. To get in, I needed the purple tablet that I found before. Thankfully, I managed to find one just on this little ledge up here, so I didn't need to bring one. Just as the sunbeam was about to arrive, the building started making this weird noise. And then a few seconds later, it even started moving and pointing to where the sunbeam was about to come from. The sunbeams soon get into contact with me, but unfortunately for them, they're not able to change their course in time.
Survivor, we see you. Man, I don't know how you held out down there. We broke an atmosphere, and we're descending towards the landing site. Is that a building down there? What do you mean you can't identify it? Hold on. No turning back now. Positions, everyone. Touching down in 10, 9, 8. It's coming from the building? Change course. Set thrusters to full.
And just like that, all hope of me being rescued has been gone by probably the exact same thing that shot down our ship. And this is where I'm going to leave it today, so thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.